y'all, welcome back to Cool in the Kitchen. If you're new here, I'm Elle, and I'm so happy you're joining me in my kitchen today. I'm making chili today, homemade chili, okay, no Hormel, and I will be putting it in my slow cooker because we work smarter, not harder over here, baby. I'll be using my Tabitha Brown slow cooker. I got it before y'all tried to cancel Amy. I still fool with her. I don't use any of her seasonings, but I love her cookware, and my crock pot is just so cute. I love it. So that's gonna do our heavy lifting today, while I do other stuff around the house because it's always something to do, baby. Growing up, I don't know. I just didn't see my mama doing as much laundry as I do. Like they cooked and like they kept the house up, but as a kid, I ain't know, baby. And now, as an adult, it's always something to do. If it's not the laundry to be washed and folded, it's the bathroom, it need to be clean. And it's always something to cook. Always. Because I got to make dinner. And then trying to figure out what I'm cooking for dinner is a task in and of itself. And then, if it's not that I got to cook dinner and we eat leftovers, I got to clean out the refrigerator anyway. I got to run the dishwasher. It's just always something to fucking do, like always. But I have to look at it as I get to and not I have to. I know. Reframing is not easy, but if it was easy, everybody would be happy. But anyway, back to the dish. So chili is one of those meals or one of those dishes that feels like a hug to me. Everybody in their families did not make homemade chili. And my mama always made homemade chili, with or without the beans. Usually without the beans. I grew up a picky eater, so if it had beans, I probably wasn't gonna eat it. But like the chili from Wendy's, I would eat that. Wendy's got amazing chili, but just canned chili wasn't my favorite. We would like in dire need, like if my mom was just dog tired, but it was never that wasn't the norm for us. Now, let me tell you a little bit about how I came to this chili recipe and what makes it mine. So I'm from Louisiana, so flavor is not optional. It's a non-negotiable in the kitchen. I don't make bland food. I don't know how to make bland food, and I never want to learn. I started making this particular chili, turkey chili, in, I believe, 2019, just because I don't know, like I hadn't started cooking on my own yet because I was still in a dorm. But when I would come home, of course, I would be in the kitchen with my mama and with my mama growing up. Like growing up, I was always in the kitchen. I love being a sous chef. I found this chili recipe online, and of course, since 2019, I've made tweaks to it, which is what is my recipe here today. If you've ever cooked with ground turkey, you know that ground turkey needs to be seasoned way more than ground beef. It's almost like it rejects seasoning. It's very I guess the word I would use is stubborn. You have to, I don't want to say heavily season it, but you have to be sure that you are building the flavor of the ground turkey. Or else it's just gonna feel like spongy meat in your mouth. Like the texture is definitely tied to taste. Taste is tied to texture. And side notes, you'll see here on the screen that I am peeling my onion and I'm putting the peelings in my bowl. That is my trash bowl. Shout out to Rachel Ray. 20 years ago, I was watching TV with my mama, and Rachel Ray mentioned on her show that it is efficient to have a trash bowl so that you're not constantly walking back and forth to the trash can. As a kid, I learned that, and I still to this day keep a trash bowl. Now, my trash bowl is one of my bowls that I already had. I learned recently that Rachel Ray is selling $50 ceramic bowls as a trash bowl. And I said, wow, Rachel's out of her motherfucking mind. That's ridiculous. But that's it for that side note. Shout out Rachel Ray. So back to properly seasoning ground turkey. So I add my own little signatures, which are Valentina sauce, and I love Valentina hot sauce. Like, of course, I like Cholula, but I like certain Cholulas. Like, I like the green Cholula, I like the garlic Cholula. But when it comes to hot sauces, I love that Valentina sauce, baby. So I add Valentina sauce to my chili. I also add soy sauce. Yes, both together in the chili. We also are not just seasoning, but you're trying to build flavor. You don't want to wait to season it or make sure that it has a good taste or a good flavor at the end. Because if you wait to season it, or if you are seasoning just for the taste, like just because you realize, oh, this tastes like nothing, you could fool around and make it salty. And so you want to be sure that you're building flavor so that in the end you're not overcompensating for lack of seasoning. That Valentina sauce adds Louisiana heat, and the soy sauce brings deep savory richness that just rounds everything out. And the full ingredients list will be in the description. I just didn't feel that I needed to put everything on the screen, because with chili and really with seasoning anything, I never follow when I find a recipe, or even put in recipes, 1 tablespoon of cayenne, 2 tablespoons of this, 2 teaspoons of that. I don't measure seasonings. I season until it feels right. So the list of ingredients will be there. I think it's pretty cut and dry how to make chili. Like, I don't think I need to walk you through those steps. To that, of course, you have my videos to reference back to, but I didn't think or feel that there were many written steps for chili. So that's why the ingredients list is in the description and no directions. So let's get into what's going into this pot, because we work smarter, not harder over here. We got a can of sweet corn and 1 can of black beans and a can of crushed tomatoes. No, I was not using rolled beans for this, because I'm not about to soak beans for chili. I make most things from scratch. I'm not doing that. So we're gonna start with avocado oil and my cup of chopped yellow onion. That is our base. This is where our flavor starts. I am also going to season my sauteing diced onions. I added a little bit of smoked paprika, some garlic powder, a touch of onion powder, and some cayenne. Now, because I am making this chili in my slow cooker, I will be browning my meat before the slow cooker. So I will be browning my ground turkey. I'm gonna add my 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm never really shy with garlic. Like, I love garlic. I love garlic anything. So when it comes to the garlic, if the recipe says 3 cloves, I'm putting in minimum 5. I'm not a motherfucking vampire. I love a garlic. Now, after my turkey has browned, I add in some ground cumin and some chili powder directly to the turkey while still in the skillet. And here, we're now adding everything to the crock pot. I added in my ground turkey, my crushed tomatoes, my diced bell peppers, stock, which is better than bouillon, dissolved into some water, my can of corn, my garlic, and my black beans. I season with garlic powder, smoked paprika to be specific, and that Valentine Hot Sauce, and that soy sauce. Underseasoned food is a choice, and it's a choice that I simply refuse to make. And speaking of making good choices, lately I've just been making the choice to protect my peace and my sanity. I'm in a season where I'm really focused on my goals, my health, showing up for myself consistently. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it all. Big part of that is this calorie deficit that I'm working on, which is why I am assembling chili buns and not classic chili dogs. But that's beside the point because my chili is so good, I'm not even missing no any. On that note, I'm going to get out of here. We're going to get into this final plating, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Feed somebody you love today, and don't forget that includes yourself. Bye.